I think there are some big problems with our democracy at the moment, and I'm not the only one. Trust in government is at an all-time low. And if we have a look at some major decisions that have been made in our region recently, it's easy to see why. Let's start with privatisation. There was never a time when the public were demanding that we privatise our service and assets. And yet, over the last few years, we've seen the privatisation of our buses, our poles and wires, and our Newcastle port. Then let's have a look at the revitalisation of Newcastle. 53% of the budget for that entire project has been spent on taking out our heavy rail and replacing it with the light rail. When the Auditor General looked into this, he found that there was a very small benefit to public transport in general, but there was a benefit for any property developers that owned property anywhere near the rail corridor and for private investment. Let's have a look as well at the supercars race. Our interim CEO of local government signed a contract with supercars that it contained a clause that our elected representatives must never know what the contents of that contract was. Labor and the Coalition have both also been involved in creating a Newcastle Motor Racing Act, which completely overrides the rights of residents and our environment laws and our planning laws, and gives supercars total control over whatever they want to do in our city. I find these kinds of government decisions completely outrageous. We need to clean up politics, and the Greens have got a plan. First of all, we want to protect whistleblowers. People who give evidence in ICAC need greater protections than they currently get. And we want to see people who come forward to volunteer information given some protections too, because at the moment they get none. We want to finish the revolving door between our MPs and their staffers going into corporations that have just had dealings with that very government agency. We want to expand financial disclosures. We want to know not only the MPs and what kind of financial interests they have, but also their family members. And we want an integrity commissioner, because time and time again, the public are told that we can't see the information that we want because of commercial incompetence. And this integrity commissioner will look into whether or not that's actually the case, or whether the public do have the right to that information. The major parties have known what these solutions are for years, and they have failed to implement these important regulation changes because business as usual is benefiting them. So if we want to clean up politics, if we want government to look after everybody, if we want a future for all of us, we need to elect Greens into government on the 23rd of March. Spoken by Charlotte McCabe and authorised by Graham Whittle for the Greens, New South Wales, Newcastle, 21 Gordon Avenue, Hamilton, New South Wales 2303.